Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of GV Bounce. I'm Damon Francis, alongside me is Hannah Driscoll.
Hi everyone.
And we're going to be going through round 4, part 1. But before we get to that, we've got to talk about the massive Anzac Day clash between Euroa and Seymour at Kings Park yesterday. And a bit of a boil over there, Hannah.
Yeah, huge result for the Magpies. 1 point. This is the first time since 2009 that the Magpies have gone back-to-back. So a huge result. They'll be very pleased with themselves for that one. Ambrose Swindon, the hero of the hour by the sounds of it, with 6 goals. And yeah, Seymour will be pretty disappointed not to have walked away with the points for that one.
Of course, and as you mentioned, Euroa having knocked off Mansfield last week have won 2 straight. So a fantastic effort for them and surprising a few this year, which is great for the competition.
Yep.
First game of round 4, though, is of course the clash between Shepparton and Rochi. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting clash. Rochi obviously go in as pretty heavy favourites. What do you make of this one?
Yeah, Rochi looking to bounce back obviously from last week's when he lost to Tatura, who are looking like they'll be pretty strong again this year. They will have lost Ash Watson from the midfield, so big loss for them. But I think they should still have what it takes to beat Shepparton. Shepparton obviously 0-3 after the first 3 rounds. Yeah, they'll be looking to make a bit of a showing against the Tigers.
For sure, I think Tim Little would just be happy to be as competitive as he can against powerful Rochi side. On to the next game, which is of course Tatura and Benalla. Interesting clash this one. Tatura have lost a few. Lee Owen obviously leading the outs for Tat in the midfield, but Ben Waite could come back in, a key position player and a really handy in. Benalla also with a few out. They've lost their Murray Bushrangers boys, and they've also lost Andy Polwarth, who's gone overseas. Benalla really going to need to match it with Tatura in the midfield, which is a big ask. Obviously Tat really flying at the moment, but do you give Benalla any shot?
Look, they were impressive. They held on last week to hold off Mansfield, who are obviously also without a win at this stage. But at the moment, Tatura just look unbeatable. Obviously, as you said, they've got a couple of outs, but still think they would have what it takes to hold off the Saints.
The last clash we're going to look at is between Echuca and Shepparton United, and both sides have got some key outs for this one. United have lost both Ryan Butler and Matt Rendina from last week. They were both injured in that clash with Shepparton and Swans, but they were very, very impressive last week. Got a good look at them. Swans were pretty disappointing in the second half, but United flexed their muscle a little bit. What do you make of Echuca, Hannah?
Yeah, look, Echuca will also be going into this clash with a couple of outs. They'll have their captain, Prendergast, Simon Buckley, and most recently Reece Archer will be joining them on the injury list. So they'll need a couple of guys to step up and to help with that, sort of leadership around the ground with those guys out. Cameron Stewart, their coach, very disappointed with how they performed last week against Kyram. Turned out to a bit of a blowout and played pretty loosely apparently, so he'll be looking for those guys to step up big time this week.
Yeah, look, I'm backing United to win the game, but I think Echuca will be working very hard to make sure that it's not by a big margin, so look forward to that clash as well.
Yep.
All right, well, thanks for your time everyone, and get along to your local footy ground to see some great action this weekend.